Hello everybody, welcome to Precision Machine Shed. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but I just thought I'd do a little update on some of the machines I have now and what's been going on. So I've been busy with my job. I'm a chiropractor, so trying to get my business running on all 8 cylinders, and it's going well so far, but you guys don't really care about that. So what I have here is, if you guys, some of you older viewers remember, I had a South Bend Heavy 10 that I restored and did a, it was a really nice lathe, but I had since sold that, and I have picked up another 10 by 36 South Bend. This particular one was used kind of as a production machine. It had a pneumatic collet setup on it and a pneumatic tailstock setup on it. So it's got the hardened bedways. This is like a it's like a mid-90s lathe, actually. It's something like that. It was probably, mid to late 90s. So it's been used a lot, as you can see, but it's got the D14 spindle on it. It's got the quick change. It's got all the, the big dials on it, all that good stuff. But when I got this thing, it was kind of a mess, to say the least. All the parts for the spindle were missing. I don't have any chucks yet, so if anybody knows of a decent D14 3 or 4 jaw out there that they want to let go, let me know for a decent price. But I think this machine probably never really had the back gears engaged on it, because when you put it in back gear and you turn it on, I mean, just when you turn it on in general, this is like one of the quietest South Bends I've ever had, so it's pretty crazy. But went through, pulled the spindle out, redid all the bearings, put new wicks in there, cleaned it all out, flushed it all out. All these gears on the outboard end, somebody had left this in gear forever, basically, the tumbler here. So all these gears were all wore out. I replaced all the gears on the outboard end here. This gearbox, I'm kind of waiting. I need to basically replace that whole thing. It still functions, but a lot of the gears are pretty wore. I put a different lead screw on it because somebody ground the threads off of half of it, which is kind of weird, or something happened there. But new lead screw, and got a new tailstock. Well, it's not a new tailstock, but it's a used one off another lathe, and I haven't checked alignment on it yet, so I got to go through and do that. I still have the old housing, or still the old tailstock, which I could swap all the guts out for, but they drilled and tapped into the old one there, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet. But and then the apron here, this is, again, I picked up another apron off of eBay thinking that it was going to be in good shape, better than the one I had anyways, and that was not the case. This one, I don't know if you can see that, wobbles up and down quite a bit. So these are the parts that wear on these things quite a bit. This shaft, and then the shaft right behind here, the pinion shaft. So this pinion shaft right here, and then this wheel shaft, you can see quite a bit of movement in there. And you probably can't see, but this shaft is moving in the housing. So the only real good way to fix that is bush both of these out with new drill them out, bush them, rekey them because that one takes a felt. Or you could put you'd almost have to rekey it for a felt, but rebush that, redo this shaft here, and it's kind of a pain. So I'm going to see if I can find a better one. The chuck, or the clutch, is not engaging right now, and I haven't messed with it to see if it's out of adjustment or not. I'm sure it's just out of adjustment, but I mean, other than that, all the rest of it, that's the gear from the power feed gear from the apron here. I still have the old apron, which I might put back on here because this one isn't much better, but got an Loris tool post for it, which I had on another machine. I got to make a bolt for it, of course. Here, this is just my temporary setup there, but hope to get this thing up and running here soon. I mean, it is running. We can turn it on and check it out. So let me turn this thing on for you. I think it's in a low speed right now, and I got a cabinet in front of here, so I'm not going to change it, but it's got a ball door, 2 horsepower, 220 volt motor in it, and I just got a switch here, so I don't have forward reverse on it, but it's super quiet. And I'm actually I'll throw it in back gear here for you. the back gears are extremely quiet too. Like it's not much more noisy than without, so like I said, I went through all this and cleaned it out and redid it, but it's seen better days for sure, but I think it'll be a good lathe. It's got a little bit of wear on the bed right underneath the headstock, probably about a foot out. It's maybe a couple thousandths, so it's got quite a bit of wear, but the thing you'll worry about is the saddle wear, because the saddle isn't hardened but the ways are, so you're going to get more wear on the saddle than you will on the ways. It's another old South Bend lathe, one that was kind of used and abused, but I still think it would probably turn out some pretty accurate material. Like I said, I think my two main issues now are eventually I'm going to replace this whole gearbox and either bush my apron out or find a replacement apron. So the next machine I picked up a while back, this was, I don't know how long ago, it was a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago. But somebody threw up this Delta bandsaw up on Craigslist, actually a guy that had bought some parts from me in the past. And I looked at it, and he didn't say that it was a wood or a metal one, but I saw this little oiler cup here, and I asked him if it, you know, had this and that, whatever else on it. So he's like, yeah, so I bought it for basically the price of what most of the wood ones go for, but this is a wood metal saw, so it's got the multiple step pulleys and then the back gear option. I'm not sure exactly what year this machine is, but it's in pretty good shape for its year. Right after I say I don't know what year it is. But when I got it, the tires were shot on it, so I got some of the blue urethane tires. You pick them up off of eBay. And I put those on here. I'm not going to take the covers off because I don't have the nuts. Actually, we could take this one off, but I can show you in a second here. I don't have the knurled nuts that go on for these studs, but we got the little work light there that works. And turn it on here. And I've got it set up for a higher speed right now because we were cutting some wood on it the other day. So I can show you these tires here quick, and they're, you know, nothing special, they're just new tires. But I'm pretty excited about this thing. I've been looking for one of these for a while. And I went through and I adjusted it. I got a 3/16 inch blade on there right now, so and it worked good. We did some little model cars with my son here about a month ago, and it worked really well. So show you the tires here quick. So those are the blue urethane tires, and these wheels on here, these are aluminum wheels. They were crowned. They're crowned from the factory, I'm assuming. So these rubber or these polyurethane tires just slip right over there, and you don't have to glue them or anything. So they've worked out really well so far. The only thing I might do to this thing is I see a lot of guys get these and they put like little brushes on either side. Either side behind the blade, so you can keep from embedding, you know, sawdust and little chips of wood into your tires. So I might do that, but other than that, I mean, it's in pretty good shape. And then the little bushings, or not the bushings, but the blocks here, these are just the standard. I don't even know if they're the ones that came with the saw, but they almost look like somebody made them, but they're just steel blocks. I might change that system over eventually, but I mean, the bearings are still good, the blocks are okay shape, so it's you know, still in pretty good shape, and it cuts pretty true, so I must have did an alright job setting it up. And then here is for you guys that may have never seen one of these or don't have one, I put a link belt on there just because I did not feel like going to the auto parts store 10 times to get the right size belt, so I just put that, and it's a little loose. I got to take a link out, I think. But here's the back gear knob, and I haven't messed with it yet. But and then the 4-step pulley. So at some point I'm going to take this thing out and change the oil in it, because I haven't changed the oil in it, but I haven't used the back gear in it yet. So right now it's just a wood saw, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with this thing. It's in, like I said, it's in pretty nice shape. I like it. I've been looking for one for a long time, and I guess about the only upgrade I could really do other than the little brushes is they make the risers for the, to make it into a, you know, you get more height capacity, but I'd have to find a couple parts for that, and that's something that I can look at down the road. So, but there we go. Here's my Delta 14-inch metal wood bandsaw. Suppose I better show you the cars we made too. So this is for my oldest. He wanted the Ferrari. I think it's a 240. I can't remember the exact model, but it turned out pretty good. Just on the bandsaw, it's just carving wood. I forget what it is. I think it's, I don't even know what it is. It's not basswood, but it's something. It might be basswood, but. And then here's a 66 Shelby Cobra for my daughter. She wanted the Cobra, so. And she chose the color, nice purple. So we did that up for her. And my other son, he got a little hot rod tractor thing that I built him. And for the life of me, I can't find it, so oh well. And last but not least, here is a little gem that I picked up a while back. Probably, you know, actually the same guy that I bought the South Bend from had this. And I bought South Bend, and then he said, "Hey, do you need an arbor press?" And I said, "Not really." And he showed it to me, and I said, "Yeah, I really don't need that." And then, anyways, I thought about it, and he sold it to me for basically next to nothing. And so I picked it up. Anyways, it's a Famco 3.5C. I think they're rated at 8 tons of pushing power. They got the big ship wheel here, and I got the, you can see I got the hand crank. So, or not the hand crank, but the lever for getting some real leverage on it. And I got it all greased up here, so it's should be good to go. But let me crush a can here for you, because that's the easiest, simplest, coolest thing we can do. Alright, so I've already had a couple guys actually ask me to sell this thing to them, and I said, no, I don't think so. Just because when I picked it up, I was kind of like, I don't really need it, but what the hell, might as well get it. So let's see if we can crush this thing flat as a pancake. So the ship wheel part of it's kind of cool. Get it down where you want it, and then I don't have this thing tied down, so it's there's ratcheting it down with the big ratchet here. So I'll push until I can't push no more. Ugh, there we go. I love this thing now that I've had it. I don't know how I ever lived without one. So it's pretty flat. That's a pint beer can down to, you know, 3/16 of an inch. That's pretty cool. It's always fun. So there we go. I've already used this thing on a couple projects. Actually, when I took that South Bend Heavy 10 apart, I took the spindle completely apart, and it worked really well for getting the main bull gear off the spindle. Just popped right in there, put a couple you know, protective pieces on each end, and that gear popped right off of there, and then when I put it back together, it slid right back on. So that worked out extremely well, and yeah, I'm really happy to have this thing. At some point, I'm sure I'll strip this thing all down and get her fixed up and make it look nice, but till then, the only part I'm missing, of course, there's always got to be a part missing, is the little press plate. I believe it had an 8-inch round press plate on this one, and it did. This is just a chunk of steel I got, and there is an index pin there for the press plate. And excuse me if that's the wrong terminology for that, but I need to find one of those for a reasonable price. And then this thing will be pretty much complete. So yeah, another cool tool. One of those tools that you don't realize you need until you have it, or you don't want it until you have it, and then you don't want to get rid of it. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That's just a little update of some of the things I got going on here. I've got a few more random tools here and there, but I'll save that for another day because we got a little long-winded here. I plan on doing more videos in the future, some gunsmithing stuff, some machining stuff, but I got to get my lathe set up, and I need some chucks for that thing, and then we can get going again on this stuff. So sorry I've been away and preoccupied with other stuff for a long time, but I hope to be getting back to all this stuff very soon. So As always, till next time, stay safe on your machines and shoot safe. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.